Welcome back to another Professional Picks college basketball video. We hit our last bet video on Duke. That was about 9 days ago. Been slow over Christmas, but finally getting some better matchups now. So today we have number 22 Creighton going to Milwaukee to play number 10 Marquette in a Big East Conference game. Give a lean in this one, but make sure you check out Profit Picks for the official bet. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content so far. Let me know what you're taking in the comments. I'm expecting to get some more videos coming out here shortly, so definitely going to start picking up with football, hitting playoffs, and then we'll be slowing down in the next couple months. But let's take a look at these lineups. This is a true home game for Marquette and Milwaukee. Like we mentioned, they're coming into this game at 10-3, and they haven't lost at home yet on the season. Now 7-0 at the Fiserv Forum. Stevie Mitchell is a game-time decision with a hamstring injury, so just one player to monitor heading into this one. He has been out the last few games already, so they've been going with that lineup on the bottom there, featuring Chase Ross from, I believe, Dallas, but really solid player. Has been a little bit inconsistent. I would have liked to see him take over this lineup spot previously. Hasn't necessarily done it. Only had 1 point in the loss to Providence. So, I mean, Stevie Mitchell, in my mind, he is their weakest starter. So it's not the biggest loss for Marquette to be without him. He's only putting up 5.8 points per game, but he is the starter. Started for this team last year in March Madness. So he's an experienced player that still adds depth to this team, regardless. Although I don't think it's going to really hurt them terribly going with Chase Ross in this one. Creighton, on the other hand, they're 9-3. So both teams with 3 losses. Creighton, they're not really dealing with any injuries heading into this game, and they definitely have a size advantage just on paper. That's one thing that I always look at. I know gets repetitive, but especially in college basketball where not everybody can shoot, hit threes, and do everything on the court like the NBA. So size matters a lot more. I mean, you saw it in old-time NBA just even 2 decades ago. But Kalkbrenner, he's a monster. He's definitely going to have a size advantage on Oso Ighodaro. Though Ighodaro is a great defender, I don't think he's going to get dominated by any means in this game. But Kalkbrenner should have an advantage on the boards and also in the paint. And it doesn't stop there. I think they even have some advantage at the power forward position. David Joplin, solid stretch forward for Marquette, but he hasn't been playing great this year, shooting in the 30% range. But Creighton has Mason Miller and both Isaac Trout, capable stretch fours. That's really the main difference between their lineups so far this season. But they've been going with Mason Miller recently. Both of them can hit threes. Both of them have a lot of size. And I think since they have 2 of them, I just give them the advantage over Joplin. Marquette doesn't really have a ton of size or really skilled players outside of Joplin and Ighodaro. So I do think Creighton's going to be able to take advantage of the paint play. On the other hand, Marquette, I'm going to give the slight advantage to their guards. Cam Jones, great scorer. Doesn't always show up in the box score, but he plays within the flow of the game, doesn't really force too much, and can score in a multitude of ways. Pretty similar to Trey Alexander in that regard, but I like Tyler Kolek a lot. Great playmaker at the point guard position. I believe 15th in the country right now in assists per game, only about 2 turnovers per game, so taking care of the ball, and also averaging 15 points. So pair him with Cam Jones, and then whether it's Chase Ross or Stevie Mitchell, I don't love their 3 spot, but I mean, Marquette's winning games on the defensive end, so you're not always going to see it in the stats. But put those 2 guys, give me Cam Jones and Tyler Kolek over the backcourt of Creighton. And really, my issue with Creighton, and I think it might be their issue this whole season, is I thought Stephen Ashworth would have been much more lethal from the 3-point line. He's the transfer this season to replace Nembhard. Nembhard, while he was inconsistent as an undersized point guard, I think he provided an extra spark on the offensive end that Ashworth just really hasn't yet. And then they also lost Kaluma, but I mean, they have guys who can take up some of those minutes at least. But moving on, looking at the matchup a little bit further here, These were two teams that were top 10 in the AP poll heading into the season, and I really wouldn't be surprised if either of them made the Final Four. They both had decent runs in March Madness last year and bring back most of their pieces. KenPom has the Blue Jays at number 17 actually, and Marquette at number 13. So they're implying this is a really close matchup with Marquette only really being about half a point better. If this was on a neutral site, I would really like Creighton. Already talked about it. I would think they have a size advantage here that I almost always go with. And then, well, I like Cam Jones. I like Tyler Kolek. I could really see either Trey Alexander or Baylor Shireman taking over this game. On the offensive end specifically, I think they could each go for 20 points or more. I picked Baylor Shireman because he's averaging 18 points per game this season, upped his mark from 12 last year, and he could really score from anywhere. He'll shoot it from really deep. So he's a guy that could take over the game and really beat anyone. But, I mean, you're not going to get it every night, but has at least the potential to take over this game and win it for them on the road. My main issue, and where I can't completely just side with Creighton in this one, and really any true home game, is because Marquette was 16-1 at home last year. They only lost to Wisconsin, who was right in their backyard. Probably had a lot of Wisconsin fans at that game. So the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, very difficult place to play, is pretty much any college basketball home court is for a competitive program. My methodology tells me to take Marquette in this one. They're opening at -4. They're going to get the favorable calls, have that home court advantage. I do think the -4 is a tough line. I would have liked it at -2, -3 a lot more, just because I could see this game being pretty close. But while it doesn't show in the box score as much, Marquette wins these games mostly on the defensive end. They are a little undersized, but they play extremely solid. Not going to give you a lot of free layups, really make you shoot from the perimeter. But Creighton does that well. The issue is Creighton lost in Marquette by 11, I think, last year, 9 or 11, 9, 10, 11, right around that mark. So I don't think Creighton's any better than they are last year. So honestly, the more I think about this game, I think Marquette -4 is going to be the play. I don't love it. I think Creighton's a better team, but I just think Marquette wins this one at home. They get a lot of big stops. Creighton's averaging 80-something points per game last year. They only put up 58 at Marquette last year. I could see something similar to that. Just a grinded out, gross game that you don't really expect. You're looking at two offenses that you think are going to put up a lot of points, a lot of perimeter shooters. But yeah, I changed my mind. Marquette -4 is going to be the play. I think you might be able to get that at a better line. Who knows? But that's what we're leaning with right now. Check at Profited Picks for the official bet on Twitter. But Marquette's the lean. I sold myself last night on USC on the road, and I paid for it. So not going to get beat on that again. But that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and good luck this weekend on your bets. Let me know if there's any games coming up that you do want to see another preview on.